Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the Black Mirror standalone choose your own adventure movie Bandersnatch. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification, share with your friends. I put out videos every single day. You can also find me over at Twitter at Movie Guy 365. So the great big experiment for, I guess, Netflix and Black Mirror is the kind of spin-off standalone episode, which is a choose your own adventure film called Bandersnatch. This is going to be very difficult to review. On one hand, you don't want to give away any spoilers, but I'm just going to break down what I thought of the premise, what I thought of the interactivity, and whether or not I think it's worth checking out. So the premise is that you essentially are you're deciding how the story unfolds. So you're told at the beginning that that's one thing. So your device is going to determine whether you're able to really participate in this or not. So things like a smart TV, a recent smart TV, or a PlayStation or an Xbox, and I think a few other streaming devices would work. I attempted initially to try on an Apple TV, was unsuccessful, was not able to engage in the interactivity. So I switched over to the TV function, used that Netflix app, and it worked just fine. I did try the PlayStation 4 app briefly just to see if that would work, and that worked as well with your controller. So just keep that in mind when you were watching the episode, that if you were watching it on something like an iPad, I don't believe that would work, or an Apple TV. So just be aware of how, what you're using to watch this, which actually can be kind of annoying. It might limit a fair amount of people trying to participate in this episode. But once it gets working, it's actually a very intuitive kind of thing. Now, for those people that like to kind of have something on in the background and just not pay attention fully, this is something that you probably will not benefit you. The fact that you have to pay attention, you have to pretty much sit with the remote in your hand, that's a big function and a big way to, more or less just continue the story. You have to make a choice. Now, as a longtime gamer, I'm used to, choose your own adventure type decisions. A lot of times they're very hollow, they don't mean a lot. And it's just a matter of going from choice A to choice B. And the way they do it is actually kind of what you would call, and it has to do with the limits of the technology and what you have. It's kind of, it's basically an A and B choice. I don't remember ever coming across more than a two-choice decision on something. It's good. I think, you don't want to bog the viewer down, but you do have to choose, and you have it roughly between like 5 to 8 seconds. Now, what I do appreciate is that they really make it seamless. There was only 2 instances in the episode, which runs about an hour and a half, that I felt there was like a buffering issue. Usually it was very seamless. It blended into the episode. It wasn't noticeable, but about 2 times for me personally, there was a thing where it was like, basically it was thinking, and it didn't exactly pull me out of the experience, but it made me aware that it was there. I did watch it, fully one time, and I played around with the controls on the second time, and I'd like to actually go through another sit-through to really kind of dive into it. Now, the story is, I'm really going to just hit the basics. So, a young man is developing a video game in the 1980s based off of one of his favorite books, which is a choose your own adventure book. So, he designs this game, which is in itself a daunting thing given the time and technology, that kind of thing. And just, it goes from there. And there's a lot of choices to make, and there's a lot of rabbit hole to dive down. So I don't really want to spoil anything, but do I feel that the functionality works, or do I feel the episode works? I do. I do feel that it does. It's entertaining, it's engaging. It is something that I think succeeds in the fact that you want to go back and visit some earlier choices. And apparently, given the amount that of choice we are given, there's about 1 trillion different permutations of how this could unfold. Supposedly, there's really only about 5 actual endings. So take that for what you will. So a lot of things you're going to notice on multiple watch throughs are going to be just basic little window dressing kind of things. It's not going to be, great big life altering decisions. There are a few of those, I feel, but at the end of the day, there's really only 5 ways the show's actually going to end. I would recommend, it does have a finite end. They kind of, tease that a few times, but when the movie and experience end, it's an ending. There's no more choices. That's it. You'll know when you hit it. There were a couple times where I thought it was the end. It just didn't. It's entertaining. There's definitely a message there. It's very meta. I feel that it is something that it's worth exploring. It's worth checking out. If you are a fan of the series Black Mirror, this is an excellent addition to that library. And it also spells really good possibilities of what we can have in interactive TV in the future. We're here, encroaching 2019, and I feel things like this are going to be more out there as the years roll on. And I feel that overall it did work, and it was enjoyable. It's an interesting story. I want to go check out some of those alternate endings if at all possible. It's fun. It's a good time. I think you should definitely check it out. As far as the quality goes, it is standard HD. There is no Dolby Vision or anything, even though it is technically a standalone from the Black Mirror series. It's kind of like a spinoff a little bit. They didn't up we didn't get the Dolby Atmos. It's a standard 5.1, and there's no Dolby Vision or anything like that. It's just in HD. But just keep in mind when you are watching it, there is like a little red thing at the menu of whatever device you're using. That'll tell you if you have interactivity or not. Just be aware of that. So if you're watching on your Apple TV, chances are you won't be able to do it. But my TV worked fine, PlayStation worked fine. So just keep all that stuff in mind. Bear with it, pay attention. Because there are choices and there are a lot of them. So. Leave your comments below if you had a chance to check out the episode. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Every day I put out a video. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.